Today, I'd like to discuss my plans for a high-speed rail from Cincinnati to Dayton to Columbus and then finally to Cleveland. Now, this rail, I would believe, would be a great asset for Ohioans everywhere, not just those in the big cities, and I believe it could be easily attained within 5 years. Benefits of this railway. So the railway would be able to transport people as well as goods, because really the only thing that is stopping you from, say, putting hundreds of dollars worth of sturgeon from Lake Erie is really just a train car. And train cars, they're customizable, so you can have people and goods being transported all on the same rail line. And once you put in one rail line, putting in others is really that simple, because hell, trains almost build themselves. You have one train, brings parts for a second train. It's really a self-feeding ecosystem that would be able to continually grow. The railway could expand out of state even. It could become an international rail route, and since we would be the first people to really build one, we would be able to decide where those railways would go. And that would really put Ohio on the map as an economic powerhouse. Also, another benefit is, once again, it gives jobs to people in Ohio. And really, Ohioans, well, we need jobs. We are a very big state, and we're kind of stagnating almost. So it would bring in new people from out of state, as well as maintain our current population, increasing Ohio's GDP even more. Also, it would lead to less traffic, as less people would want to drive their car on the highway if they could just take a cheap railway. You would no longer need to have a car to even live in Ohio, for example. You could have a carless house that's right next to the rail station. You could ride that for a little bit to get to your job, say, from Cincinnati to Dayton. That would be a 30-minute rail ride. And you could have a pass, and it could be this simple system where the traffic is really for only those that need it, rather than everybody needing to own a car. Also, it will make money. Just as a general, commuter railway system, you have to pay for the tickets and everything. And it would be cheap for the people, but if it transports enough people, it's a nice sum of change to help maintain that railway. So it won't be a constant money sink for taxpayers, unlike our highways and such, which need to be maintained regularly, and they don't really make that much money. And I don't know if you've driven on Ohio roads, but they're not the greatest, are they? I believe we could use Ohio labor from really all over Ohio. So it would be going through urban areas, of course, but also on its way there, we would need rural labor for the more sparsely populated parts. And so we'd be able to get our steel here in Ohio from companies like Ohio Steel Industries, which could make to order all the steel we would need. In fact, they could probably even build another factory. Speaking of factories, there's an Ohio semiconductor plant that is being built by Joe Biden here in Columbus, which, well, it would need a way to get all those chips out to all the GPUs and CPUs that might need them, and a railway would be a great way to do that as well. And so we would use that Ohio labor and pump money into the Ohio job market, which would create many high-paying jobs for Ohioans. Also, we would probably need some money, say around $25 billion. And that's really an overestimate even too. And while that may sound like a lot for a government, it's really not that much. And I believe we could recoup those costs in say 20 years. And then after that, it'd be straight bank. And here's the thing. Rail lines don't really depreciate that much. They're very easy to sustain. Hell, train wheels are made out of metal. That means they wear like metal does, so barely at all. Unlike truck wheels, which you have to constantly replace and really are a large upkeep. And so we could have a private business even chip in some of their own money to build this railway. And also we could have the power that is used for this rail line provided by wind farms here in Ohio and other such clean energy sources, as our train would be electric and would not have to rely on fossil fuels, which may be soon a thing of the past. So overall, I would like to present trains as a solution to Ohio's transportation problems. These trains will be economical in the sense that they will almost certainly bring up Ohio's GDP, and they'll be ecological in the sense that they'll be electric and completely powered by renewable energy. And really, they'll just be good for us, as they'll give us jobs to work at, they give us places to visit, and hell, they might even give you